a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset and how it's crucial to achieve positive thinking and positive action in any area of your life. Before I get into that, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Coach Carissa, and I'm a fear coach specializing in mental and emotional health on the brain, specifically in those areas of depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and PTSD. And I focus specifically on mindset and how to rewire one's mind with better thoughts, habits, and emotions. The brain is malleable, meaning it can be changed. And yet, so many of us end up staying stuck in the same mindset or the same way of thinking or the same self-perception our whole lives. I'm doing these videos for the purpose of helping you get out of this so that you can achieve the life you want. You can achieve the self you want by rewiring your brain with better thoughts, habits, and emotions. These things have changed my life. They've changed my client's life, and I'm excited to share these with you. One of the most misunderstood topics is that around positive mindset and exactly what that looks like. You might get things of toxic positivity, as I focused on in video 1, where people are saying, just be happy or just think positive, as opposed to acknowledging what's coming up emotionally for us now. Last week, I had also talked about being responsible or being in a victim mindset state. So if you haven't watched those videos, I encourage you to watch them now. This week, I'm focusing on something called a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So this concept was first introduced by psychologist Carol Dweck. I think she was a child psychologist. There's a TED Talk on this. You can watch this as well. Take a look at Carol Dweck and fixed mindset versus growth mindset. Here's the breakdown. Here's the generalized concept and how it's crucial to being able to achieve positive change and positive thinking in your life. A fixed mindset is the idea that I am who I am, I'm good at what I'm good at, these are my skills, and that's it. I can't do better, I can't be better. So in schools, it was often trained, this mindset became trained into our brains when children were rewarded for being naturally good at something, as opposed to being rewarded for the efforts or the improvement or the hard work put in. So some child might have been really praised for being really smart, and some parents even would do this. You're so smart. Oh, and you're so good at running, or you're such a good singer. And so this really gets programmed in the child's mind that this is who I am. I'm a good runner, I'm a good singer, I'm a good speller, I'm a good reader. This is who I am. And a growth mindset is very opposite to that. It's typically a growth mindset was encouraged by teachers and parents who started to take a look at, okay, let's take a look at the children that put in the effort here. That even if a child got a D, let's say on a math test, and then on the next test they got a C, that C might not be better than that A+ student, but maybe the A+ student or the A student is still an A student instead of going up to an A+ student, versus this one child has just gone up an entire grade. And that's what we should be praising: the effort, the hard work, acknowledging that when we work hard, acknowledging that we can learn, acknowledging that we can grow and we can change. This is encouraging a growth mindset. So for many of the children out there, this fixed mindset was the one that was encouraged as opposed to a growth mindset. And so what they found by studying groups of children, what this Carol Dweck found by studying all these groups of children, was that the children who were naturally smart, naturally talented, at some point, the children that were less smart, less talented, that had to really work for it, started surpassing these naturally smart, naturally talented children, and actually later in life became more successful, the ones that actually had to work at it. And the reason behind this is that the naturally successful, naturally talented children thought that that was innately who they are. And so they hadn't developed this mindset that they can get better or be different. So when challenged, they wouldn't push themselves, or they would take the easy route just so that they could stay in that mindset of this is what I'm good at, or in the realm of what's known. So they did tests where these two types of children were given a test, and they were given the option to take the easy route and get the good grade, or take the hard route and actually try to challenge themselves. And they found that the children with the fixed mindset would often take the easy route, versus the children with this growth mindset would often take the route of really being challenged, because they weren't afraid to look at something and fail and learn and grow. So a fixed mindset is key. Or I guess recognizing if we have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset is key to positive thinking and changing your life. Now, I was in a fixed mindset for most of my life, and it probably wasn't until I was in my 20s that I actually recognized this, my mid-20s, and acknowledged that it was such a light bulb. Now, you'd think this would be something that's common knowledge, but again, in order for us to truly understand stuff, it has to break past our conscious mind barrier, and it has to go down into our conscious mind and be understood deeply by the brain. This is why we can hear things and not really truly understand them until they suddenly click with us. And this is something that had finally clicked with me, is the day that I realized that, hey, I can learn. For a long time, I felt like I wouldn't even attempt to go skiing with my family because I felt like I wasn't good at sports. And so I'd go and I would fail the first time, and I would be so hard on myself for failing. And I would just keep reinforcing this idea that you're bad at sports. And that became my identity of who I was, when the reality was I could have very well been good at sports. I never tried, because I limited myself with this mindset of this is who I am. And that was something that had just been trained, because again, our parents didn't know this stuff. Our teachers didn't know this stuff at the time. It's just common behavior to praise people for naturally based talents or skills, or to praise the results. Oh, you got an A. Great job. Instead of, wow, you really worked hard. And even though you didn't get that grade, I saw the effort that you put in. Congratulations. It might even be telling the child, you didn't really, yeah, you got an A, that's great. However, I didn't see you study much. You didn't really challenge yourself in this area. What can we do better next time? Because we are capable of that. And then what this does, it then teaches children that we can challenge ourselves, we can fail, and we can get back up and we can go again, because at the end of that, we will learn and we will grow, and we can get better and we can do better. So when I realized this, my entire life changed. I intuitively finally knew, hey, I can just practice and learn, and at some point, I'm going to get better. Again, you think it'd be common knowledge, but these mindsets are so ingrained into our identity, and the brain actively avoids going into these truths, because then in some way it would mean that we're killing our own identity, our own self, that we don't see it. We can hear it, but we won't really understand it on a deep level till we start to shift our perceptions and our awareness. This is the thing I do with something called Nlp Matrix Therapy, where I take a deep dive into your unconscious mind. We take a look at the belief systems held by your unconscious mind, learned in childhood, and we start to rewire those belief systems so that you then start to have a new awareness about what's going on in the world around you, and a new awareness of yourself and your patterns. Then we show you how to rewire your brain with better thoughts, habits, and emotions, so you can get out of depression, you can get out of anxiety, you can go after the life that you want. So next week, I'm going to go into another week of what is the positivity mindset. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like this video, like it now, subscribe to my channel, share this video. The more that you guys do, the liking, the subscribing, the more I can keep making these videos and sharing them with you. Again, my main goal is to help everybody achieve the life that they want and be the selves that they want. And I can only do that if you're actually giving me the encouragement. So give me the like, give me the follows, and I'll see you next week for another week's episode of What is a Positive Mindset. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, mindset matters.